Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Welcome to the Bemidji High School for Week 0. It's the scrimmage for the Northern Minnesota Robotics Conference today on yourliveevent.com as the teams get their first taste of action on the year, testing out their design, their builds, what they've been still needing to work on and fix. Here as we'll talk with the teams and bring you all that information today on yourliveevent.com. Well, from the robotics scrimmage, Week 0 practices here with Team 3294 out of Pine River Bacchus. We got Miranda with us, and Miranda here, we got the robot in front of us. Let's talk about it here. What have you guys been working on here to test out today?
Our main thing we wanted to test out is our claw. That's what we've been working on last minute before we came here, and then hopefully program our limelights and see the field in person.
All right, and how valuable is this first week, this scrimmage here, to get out and really get a sense of what your robot can do?
This Week 0 event is very important for our team and probably all the teams in this area because it's a chance to see the field before our main event and get a chance to see their equipment work, to see what needs to be tweaked, what they could do better, or what works well. It's a very valuable event before our big competition.
You talked about working on the claw. Was that kind of the thing that's been giving you guys issues or questions here early on?
Yeah, we got most of our robot put together pretty quick, and then we went through all these different kinds of claws and how we would attach it, how we wanted to hang, how we would pick it up, or what would be the best way to build it. And then we also had to put it into account fitting it in our frame perimeter and stuff like that.
Tell us about the claw then, what you guys decide on here that you're testing out today.
So we decided on like a grabber, and it opens and closes, and it's run by servos. And we use exercise bands to help grip the cones and cubes to keep them in place.
All right, well, best of luck. I know you guys are heading out to the field, so Miranda, thanks so much, and appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Yes, thank you.
From Ashby High School, it's the Aerobots, Team 8878 with us, and Ben, as we are at the Week 0 competition here, the scrimmage. How has the day gone so far for the Aerobots?
Good. We've gotten a lot done on our robot. It's starting to come together.
All right. What were some of the things that you were maybe concerned about or that you really want to see how they performed here today?
Our claw or our grabbing mechanism, it wasn't really working, so we're trying new things.
All right. For the design portion of it, how did you decide on that claw or what went into deciding how to build that robot?
We kind of watched a few other robots on YouTube and found other videos, and we're trying to kind of copy it, make it better.
All right, and as far as yourself, you do some mechanic stuff on there too. Is that the part you really enjoy?
Yep, that's probably my favorite part.
All right, and why is it? Is that just, why do you like that?
It's just one of my hobbies, and yeah.
All right. What are some other things that you enjoy about robotics?
I think working with other teams is really cool because no other sports you can really do that. That's kind of it.
It is pretty cool just with the stalls here that you can walk down, kind of poke your head in and say, hey, what's going on or why you're doing that. And I just, how does it that every team seems to get on that same page like that?
I don't know. I think everyone is having fun and they like helping the other teams.
All right. Well, hey, let's keep having fun. Ben, thanks so much for the time. Best of luck here as you guys continue on here today.
Thank you.
From Big Fork High School, it's the Backwoods Bots, Team 52-53 with us, and Dalton. Well, here we're at the week 0. It's the scrimmage time, so I know it's week 0, but a lot has gone into it. So what has been going on the last 5 weeks of the design and build process here for your team?
Well, at the very first week, we were just struggling to even think of an idea. By the second week, we had an idea. We had an elevator at first, and then we just scrapped that completely, and then we went with a winch. And we have a scissor lift that extends the arms out so we can place a cube or a cone onto the platforms. And coding has been an issue, that's for dang sure.
All right, is it what with the coding here that you've been working on here that's giving you issues?
We finally got it just now. We got the autonomous working finally, and everything else went smoothly other than just autonomous.
All right, have you had some opportunities on the field? How other than the autonomous, how has everything else worked as far as what you designed?
It's been working pretty well. We're trying to use a cube to start off with, and kind of got stuck because our grabber wasn't wide enough yet. But cones have been working perfectly so far.
As far as the game and the strategy as well too, what are the first couple trials there, or have you even thought about strategy at this point, or is it just getting the operational working?
We've thought about strategy very minimally, but we've basically just been thinking about getting stuff working, trying to see what breaks so we can fix it, make sure that everything is good for the following weeks.
All right, looking forward to those coming up. Adult, thanks so much for the time. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the team.
Thank you.
The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters. Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Out of Crosby Ironton, Ranger Robotics, team 6132, and we're visiting with Daniel. As Daniel, we're talking right now. You guys are working on some wiring here today. What's been the focus to get ready for today as far as what you guys want to test out?
Basically, we want to test out that our coding and all of our pneumatic connections are correct. So when we test it, our arm should lift up with like all the motors and winches. There's a lot of things we want to test out because we haven't actually been able to power it up with none of the wires connected completely right now.
As far as the coding aspect and getting the robot to do what you want it to do, what's that challenge been like here for this team to overcome?
Well, mostly it's been having the panel outside at the beginning stages for like our pneumatics and stuff to make sure that all the connections and stuff are correct, and a lot of like the math involved for I forget what they're called, but the gyros, or not gyros, but for the wheels to make sure that they're all going the right directions in the same time, and when we want them to go left, they're all going left, because in the beginning they were just all going in opposite directions.
Well, let's look at the robot a little bit more too. Tell us about the design you guys settled on here so that you could accomplish the goals in the game.
So what we wanted to do was have an arm that could lift up vertically like this, so it picks up cones and cubes completely straight. That's all going to be lifted by that winch right over there. It's kind of like a little lever system. And we wanted to do that because the cone seemed like a very difficult task to get completely straight through without like making any adjustments or angles. So we're hoping that we could just pick it up completely straight and straight down.
All right, well, best of luck to it. Good luck trying it out today. Daniel, thanks again for joining us here, and we'll talk to you again.
Sweet, thank you.
Well, from Brainerd High School, so let's talk to the team from Brainerd. YLE Robotics here, Brian with us. And Brian, talk about the team getting ready for today and what they've been busy working on.
Well, we went on Monday. We did a total arm redesign. We spent 5 weeks working on an arm, and it wasn't going to do what we wanted it to do. So Monday, it was like robot in a week. And that's what we've been focusing on. So it's been a challenging game. And at the beginning of the season, we sure thought that it wasn't going to be as challenging. We didn't have to climb, didn't have to do these things, but have a good group of kids. They problem solve, coming up with some solutions, and I think we're going in the right direction. That's for sure. So,
all right. So you talk about it being a challenging game this year, and with that, what has been maybe the biggest challenge for this team to figure out?
Yeah. Well, dealing with a cone and then a little square ball. Cube. Just how to handle it, and getting, if we collect the cube, collect the ball, how do we get, the cone, how do we get it indexed for our arm to grab it and be able to put it on a post? That's been and it continued to be a challenge. We're going to be working on that next week. Our regional is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th up in Duluth. So we're close to having that ready to go, but that's been a big challenge, getting that cone into our robot and then getting able to manipulate it.
All right, have we gotten onto the field yet here to find any more problems to solve?
Not yet. We'll get on the field here. We can drive good, and so that's okay. But it'll be just getting our bot out there and just seeing how it performs, I guess. So we'll get there.
All right, Brian. Thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the team.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right.
Well, now visiting on a Black Duck here as Jarrett joins us. And Jarrett, thanks for taking the time. I know it was a hectic battle to come over and talk for the interview, so we appreciate you doing that. Let's talk about here the robot, your time in robotics here, and just start with what you guys have been working on to develop your robot since that game was announced.
Well, we first focused on how we were going to pick up the objects. So we really wanted a way to get the object any way. If it's tipped over, like the cone, if it's tipped over, we can pick it up and we can bring it or do whatever we need to do to get it to the pole. So we started off with making the claw, if you can see over there, and we made it so we can rotate it and pick up, I guess, the object. So, yeah.
All right. Have you been able to run some tests here back home?
Yeah, we have. It's been going good wherever we have the tests, but yeah.
All right. We'll see how it goes out today when you learn some things. And so if that's been going good, have you guys talked about learning the game strategy a little bit too, and some of the things that you want to try out, test out, work out with some of the other teams here?
We haven't talked with any of the other teams, but we do want to focus on getting on the charging station in autonomous mode, so we get those points and then go from there. So,
how involved were you with that autonomous period there to develop that, or what was your role here?
My role, I kind of just wired up the robot. I helped build it. I don't really know anything about coding or anything along that line, so I just helped pretty much build it.
All right, so the build stage here, and is that something that you're looking forward to continuing to be part of here after high school too, with something in that field?
I want to become an electrician, so it kind of helps with wiring and stuff, so I'm learning a little bit about that. So,
all right, well, we'll let you get back to it here. Jared, thanks for the time. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the team.
Thank you.
This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Bacchus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC. Online at schruppexcavating.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
It's the Bogbots out of Kelliher, team 6453, and we got Cooper with us. And Cooper, here today, coming into the scrimmage time, what was the goals here to be ready for week 0?
Our goals were to be able to have our lifter to pick up cones and the cubes and have all that ready and be able to drive and have it all work pretty much.
All right, and have some of those goals been successful so far?
Right now we're having problem driving with the code, but once we get that figured out, we should all come together.
Yeah, and that's what the great thing to have the scrimmages and work out some of those bugs and those glitches that will occur. So what's the process here for you guys to get those fixed then?
Well, right now our coder is having help changing our code and fixing it for Neo motors, which we're just now using, and I'm currently wiring Neo motors, so yeah.
All right, with the wiring, is that kind of your role, the wiring buildings things?
Yeah, I tend to do more of that than everybody else, but we're a small team, so we all kind of know how to do it all.
All right, well, why is it that you like that aspect of the robotics?
I'm not really sure. It just, I don't know.
All right. Just one of those fun things, right?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Let's look at the robot a little bit. Just tell us how you guys decide on this year's design.
So, pretty much for the grabbing part, we saw a video of a pneumatic piston pushing together and picking up the cones. And we decided if we added some wheels, that would make that part a lot easier. And for the lifting part, we originally got it. We saw a video from the robot in 3 days. Then we added to the arm to make it to where it would self-level, and just kind of went from there. Adjusted things as we were building, and yeah.
All right, then. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to from this year with the robotics?
Well, hopefully we can do good in Grand Forks, and like everybody else, our goal is to go to the Worlds, so.
All right, Cooper, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the team.
Yep, you too.
It's Patriotics Robotics, team 5973 out of Pequot Lakes, and Carter is with us. Carter, here today. So far, how's the day gone?
It's been pretty good. Our practice matches haven't turned out so well. We had some failures, some breakages. We've been working very hard this past hour to fix, and hopefully our robot will be better than it ever was before when it's done, and we're ready for all the competitions after it.
All right, so, and you're going to have some failures and missteps here, but anything major, or is it just kind of little things you've been able to work on so far?
It's been pretty major. We had a whole hex shaft break, and our arm just was not lifting at all, so should be working in about 30 minutes or so.
All right, to have this happen in a 0 week where you got the other competitions coming up, to now go through the experience of, okay, we got to get this fixed, got to get this going. How have you guys responded to doing that?
We all have our own job. I mean, everyone does a small bit of work, but we get it together pretty fast, I'd say, for being at a competition and kind of trying to fix it on the fly. That answers your question.
All right. Your role with the team as well too. What do you like? What's your favorite part?
My favorite part is just I don't know, finally getting hands-on learning experience. It's nice finally getting that engineering aspect and being able to piece something together. And when it all works so well, just the best feeling.
All right, well, we'll look forward to you piecing it back together and looking to see it work well. So, Carter, thanks so much for the time, and we'll let you get back to it.
All right, no problem. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Visiting with Kira from Red Lake High School and Team 7235, the Ogeechee Dogs. And Kira, you're new to robotics, so first time at a scrimmage event like this with a bunch of teams gathering. What's been the experience so far?
I like it. There's just a lot of noise, and I'm trying to get used to that.
Yeah, a lot going on, and you guys got a lot going on in your stall as well too with the robot. What are some of the things that you guys have really been looking at, trying to get ready here to test out today?
Right now, I'm working on the intake with Diane. That's just what we're doing. I don't know what the other people are doing. We're just focusing on our little part so far.
All right, and what has been the most challenging aspect of the design aspect so far for this team?
Nothing really seems too challenging right now, I guess. I think it's all easy, sort of.
All right. Okay, all right. So now maybe the challenging thing is when you get out there trying to drive it. So what are some of the strategies, or have you guys talked about strategies to test out here in this scrimmage today?
We haven't really talked about strategies yet.
All right, so just whatever goes, right? All right. What are some of the things being new to robotics here that you're really enjoying here about being part of this team?
So far, really just like building the robot, and I'm looking forward to going to the competition stuff.
All right, and do you guys have some competitions planned out coming up that you're looking forward to?
I think March 8th or 12th is we're doing a competition in Grand Forks.
All right, so looking forward to that right around the corner. So, Kira, thanks so much. Appreciate it, and good luck here today.
Yeah, thank you.
Visiting with UC Robotics, Team 4480, and Hunter with us. Hunter, well, it's scrimmage week here. A lot of excitement in the building. What's it like right now?
Well, it's, as you can imagine, complete chaos for us and pretty much every team I know, so it's different.
There is a lot of chaos as everyone's trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. So let's talk about what your team has discussed that you were looking at in the design and the operations here to get ready for today.
Yeah, and see, a big thing with this series, there's so many different paths you could take for, picking up cones, cubes. It's, what's going on outside? Is it laying down? How is that cone put? How is everything? So originally we were, we're openly, jokingly, let's make a cone flipper. Well, we ended up going that route because as much as it was cool, how will that perform? Well, a lot of different design, we tried. We're going to do simple rollers, pull it in, claw it up, but in the end, we just went simple, pick the cone up, cube, let's set it up, get it placed down.
Sometimes that KISS method, right?
Yeah, it's, as you can imagine, we were all over the place trying to figure this out.
All right. Well, did you feel the cones was the toughest challenge, or what was it a part of the game that you guys spent the most time trying to figure out?
So the biggest thing was cone, because cone, based on where it's oriented, is on side, like I said, is it side, upright? How is that cone facing? How are we going to be able to pick it up? And that's big thing, the cubes, it's not so bad. Yes, they'll pop, but it's a little harder to challenge. It's a little more of a challenge to try to crush them and pop them, from what I've seen.
All right, so what are your teammates behind you here working on here as you guys get ready to go to the field?
So we got Silas and Michael here working. We are currently trying to get our actual arm to fully work everything without it binding or getting caught in anything. So our string's currently working on our main wires here so they don't get caught up, so we don't rip it out and destroy it, because nobody wants that. So that's currently what we're doing. So she's almost ready to be on the field.
All right. Is today mainly about operations, or is it some strategy and everything else that you're trying to learn today too?
It's a mix of a lot of things, but biggest thing is how's the robot perform? How can we improve on it? What is it going to take?
All right, well, Hunter, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Looking forward to you guys seeing you perform out there on the field in a little bit. Best of luck.
Yep, thank you.
From the Husky Haulers, Team 8422, and we got Daniel, the head engineer for the Husky Haulers, and take us through here, getting ready for the scrimmage today, and what your main goals are for today.
So our main goals for today are to see our robot work, at least in some extent. So we are waiting on a few parts to arrive to really get it fine-tuned, but we can still do some stuff right now. Like we need a couple gearboxes to make our motors actually hold their position a bit better. But those arrive on Monday. We were hoping they'd arrive yesterday, but oh well. So, but otherwise our robot still moves its arm. I don't know if you can see it a whole lot, but we've got an arm that works a lot like your arm would. So it's got kind of a shoulder, and it's got an elbow, and then a wrist, and then a couple fingers. So currently our shoulder and our elbow, they don't quite have enough power to hold it in its position, so they kind of drift a lot. But we can still actually do a lot of testing and get all of our other systems working really well, and then we can test the shoulder and elbow later at our school.
Talk about the arm then, how you guys decide on that, why you decided to go with that method.
So a lot of robots this year are going with arms, I think, and mostly because we are only allowed to hold one item at a time, one game piece at a time, so it doesn't really benefit that greatly to have an intake or a place to store a lot of items. And we have to reach out and drop them onto the grid, and shooting them would be a lot less accurate than just simply being able to drop them in place with an arm. So that's why we went with an arm, and that's why a lot of other teams are probably going with an arm, I think. But our specific design for the arm came from several different thought processes. One, the reason we have a turret, where it seems like a lot of other teams don't, is it allows our robot, our operator, who controls the arm, to a lot more finely tune how they're placing an object, so that doesn't go on the driver. The driver can focus mainly on getting back and forth to picking up items and dropping them off as fast as possible. Then the shoulder and elbow joints, instead of just having one, is so that we can reach out farther and also keep our weight down low while we're actually moving around. And then our wrist is just so for fine tuning and for picking up cones that are flipped on their side.
A lot that goes into that then. It's more so that, hey, we got to pick up a cone, but like you said, how are we going to do it with all those things? And talk about your experience with robotics too, and just some of the things that you've learned, you've enjoyed here throughout your experience.
I've really enjoyed robotics. So I was one of the founding members. We started like 4 years ago. This year we're actually getting a robot that's hopefully working fully this time. But I've really enjoyed it. I've gained so many skills that I didn't have beforehand. A lot of work with power tools. I am now very confident in my use of tools like the angle grinder, sawzall, drills. Since I'm lead engineer, I also have a lot of skills in design and the engineering processes now. Then I can actually apply those out in the real world, and I've been applying them to stuff like 3D printing. So I've been enjoying that a lot.
All right, so talk about that then. Are you looking at something after high school into college here that you've learned from robotics? That's the career path that you want to go after?
Yeah, actually there's a robotics and automated systems degree at a college that's 20 minutes away from me, CLC. And actually I'm going there with a lot of my friends who are also on the robotics team. So that entails mostly installing and repairing and maintaining a lot of robots for big companies. But a lot of these skills transfer directly over because you'll need to learn how to use power tools. You'll need to understand how mechanical, electrical, and computer systems all work together. So a lot of all that transfers over almost directly. And I've really enjoyed robotics, and I really enjoy working hands-on with things, so I think I'm going to really enjoy that program.
Very good. Well, it looks like your robot ready to get out to the field, so we'll let you go check out how the operation's going. Thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it, and best of luck to you in the team.
Yep. Thank you.
Team 3277 on the Thief River Falls. We got Pro Digi Robotics with us, and Briley and Aubriana with us. And Briley, first of all, you guys just came back from the field here. So how'd that run go?
It started off pretty good. We got our autonomous. We've been tweaking that. We just practiced with it. The first time we undershot it, the second time we overshot it. This time we overshot it by like half a second, so we're just going to tune that down a little bit. And then we dropped a cone in a hybrid node, and we're working on trying to grab one, but we were getting a little bit of trouble with connection, so we decided to go all the way to the other side and try to grab one from the drop-in station, and we completely lost connection over there, and we're just stuck. So a bit rough, but we're trying to move our radio into a better position.
All right, well, that's why we have the scrimmage week, so we can learn those things. And talk about the robot, the design here, a little bit of what you guys have built.
We based our design heavily off of an excavator arm, except for instead of doing hydraulics, which of course would be really heavy, we did threaded rod. And so far, it's been a little bit complicated to control, but once you get it down, it works. It's really smooth, and I like the feel of it.
Yeah, we are currently in the process of working on an electronic encoder stop so that we can't pull it out all the way or split in too far.
All right. Tell us about how you decide on that, or what you learned, or what happened that you got to switch things out like that.
Well, I was trying to drive it. I'm currently drive coach this year, but I was trying to drive it. I sort of went a little bit too hard on the controls, and we realized maybe we should make it so you can't do that.
Revving the engine a little bit.
Because if you go too far, the threaded rod comes out of the other rod, so it just falls apart. And now you have no arm anymore. It's just kind of laying behind you.
All right.
Defense strategy, worst case scenario.
there we go. Your experiences with robotics, each of you here, just kind of tell us how long you've been doing it and what some of the best things you've learned or your favorite parts of it are.
I'm currently a senior. This is my 4th year on the team. We do have a middle school team, but that was the year I joined high school, so unfortunate timing. I'm the lead programmer on our team, have been since the start because we've never gotten many interested programmers. And yeah, I completely taught myself programming with some help, and it was a great experience to learn, great experience to get acquainted with university, I suppose university, but industry standards.
I'm a freshman in high school. I've been on the team for 2 years. We only allow high schoolers on the team, but my mom is the coach, so I was helping out even though I wasn't on the team. I was on that robotics team that she was talking about, the middle school robotics team, and we were when I left, we were 3-time defending state champions and went to Worlds and placed in the top 100. So we did really good there. Coming up into FIRST Robotics it's a big change because in VEX you have restrictions. You can only have so many pieces, and these kinds of pieces. But in FIRST you have any pieces you want, anything you could build, anything you put on a robot with a little restriction. That's what you got. So in that mind, it's more freeing, but also it's a lot bigger robot. It takes a lot more time. But I think it's a great learning experience, and you can apply it to a lot of job spots.
All right. Adriana, I want to ask you too about the programming. You said you taught yourself here, so that's something that I know for me would be hard to learn. So how are we able to do that?
The documentation for WPI Lib is really good. There's tutorials online. Harvard actually has all their computer science lectures, their beginning computer science lectures online, so you can just watch them whenever you want for free. So.
All right, a lot of research and a lot of work, I'm sure, but coming out here, you got that first trial run done, so here, best of luck going forward with the next one here, and hopefully you guys can work out those kinks and those bugs you were talking about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Restock on food, fuel, and baits at locally owned Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Station 371 has bait and tackle, quality Cenex gasoline, off-road diesel, and is the only stop with #1 diesel. Make sure to stop by to wash off the sand and salt with their indoor car wash, open when the temp is at least 26 degrees. They'll hook you up with your fishing and hunting licenses too. Station 371 on Highway 371 in Pine River. Thank you for supporting local business.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
out of Frazee with team 4539. We got Josh and Jonathan with us here for Chaotic Robotics. And today is a little chaotic, isn't it, out there?
Very chaotic today.
All right. So what are you guys looking for? What have you guys learned so far today?
We've learned that we can pick up pretty consistently. Our arm movements are working good. We're very smooth. It's working pretty good.
All right. Talk about the mechanism here. Since it's working well, what you guys did here and how you decide on that method here to meet that cone and cube challenge.
So it's pretty much just regular arm. It works like your arm. Pivots at the elbow. What we got for our source to actually pick up the cone and the cube is just a pincher. So it'll pinch it, pick it up, bring it where we need it, set it down. Pretty simple.
All right, so if that's the simple part, what's been the challenging part?
The challenging part, I think, for us has been our turntable. We wanted to add a nice fun element, so we decided to make the entire arm just rotate on one point, and I think that's been our biggest challenge so far.
Our stability of the arm has been really hard. I think we figured it out now. We're using a boat seat. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so your experiences with robotics, tell us here too, not only this year but past years too, of just what you guys have really enjoyed about.
Okay. It's been amazing. I'm only a second-year student, and I wish I would have joined earlier. It's coming to an end too fast. The community is just amazing, and everyone's so friendly.
I joined when I was a 7th grader. I'm a senior now, so this is my last year. It's been great. I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. I've been taught a lot of things, and it's given me great opportunities.
All right. Opportunities after high school, are you looking to continue with a similar field?
Definitely. I'm looking at mechanical engineering right now, which is very similar to what we're doing now.
I'm looking at going into either architecture or engineering, so undecided on what type of engineering, but yeah, definitely.
All right, too. Let's talk about today a little bit more, too. Just the first time this year since the new game where all the teams have gone together. Have you had informal discussions with any of the teams here leading up to today?
Yeah, we talked to plenty of the teams during the season just to see where they're at, where we're at. Not much strategy has been talked throughout the teams, like team to team wise, but we definitely talked as NMRC as a whole.
All right. What's kind of been the common thing you've heard from other teams about this year's challenge?
It's pretty simple, because you just pick something up, put it down, but in the same way it's very challenging because we have to extend so far, and the game pieces we're using are very unique this year.
All right, well, looking forward to see how everyone attacks that challenge. Josh and Jonathan, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate you guys, and best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Out of Little Falls, Flyer Robotics, team 4623. We're with Kat, and Kat, here on Scrimmage Day, tell us about it, what it's been like so far.
Well, it's been pretty rough. We had it working mostly perfectly yesterday, but we've definitely broken some things already. But it's been fun. We've gotten some things worked out, kind of. But we've been having a good time here.
All right. When those things go wrong, like they will and they do, how does this team work together to get those fixed?
Well, we all have our individual jobs, so it's a lot of communication and a lot of working with our own skill sets. So I do most of the coding, and we have our main builders here, and they do a lot of work with us. So,
on the coding side, what's been the challenges here for this year's code?
This year we had to learn we didn't have to, but we learned 2 brand new things. We learned how to use a gyroscope and how to use encoders. Our encoders aren't working perfectly today, but it's an ongoing struggle.
All right, that's why we have this scrimmage. So let's look at the robot here. Tell us about the design a little bit.
So up here we have our grabber. This arm is on a pivot, so it can pick up our cubes. And we can also pick up a cone by putting it on here, because normally this whole thing is down. So yeah.
There we go.
We have it working on pneumatics, so this can go out further. Since we have a piston right up here. We also have another piston up here, which is what brings it out here. So we have a fun little limit switch here. And then we have our electronics board, which is a bit of a mess, but that's wires for you.
All right, so robotics too. Tell us just about your experiences so far, and what is it you or your team really enjoys about being in part of robotics?
Well, I've loved the community of robotics. I joined last year, and we had a really good team. I've learned a lot about coding and even the building side of things. We have a lovely team here, and I really enjoy being around all of them. I would say the best part of it, or my favorite memory, would be in our competition at Duluth. We have a mandatory pool night where we all just go chill out at the pool. So it's really fun.
All right, certainly some fun times. Looking forward to more throughout the year as well, too. Kat, thanks so much for joining us here, and best luck to you and the team.
Thank you for having me.
This is with Carrera and Kaylin out of the Accelerators team out of Cass Lake Bena, and well, girls, here as you get ready to go, let's talk about your design, your robot this year, and what you made coming into today's scrimmage.
So our robot is kind of loosely based on one of companies that robot parts, and so our robot picks up cones and cubes. It's like a grabber, and so if it's open, it just sucks the cube in, and then it closes to get the cone. And then there's like an elevator that makes it go up, and then there's a thing that makes it go out. So I think it's one of our most complex robots, because like wires are running everywhere because they have to go up and down, and it's just like a little like, I don't know.
Just a lot going on a small machine, right?
Yeah.
All right. As the drivers here taking the first couple turns out on the field, what have you guys learned about that aspect of it here, just how to drive it?
We kind of had a little bit of practice. We haven't really gotten a lot, but it seems to be easier with like swerve to be able to line up to actually like get a cone or cube, and like that's the thing we wanted was swerve, and so that I think that makes it easier. We haven't actually gone onto the field yet. We are trying to work on getting our bumpers on, so then we can drive it safely. Yeah. So we've kind of been doing that, and once we get that, hopefully we get to go on the field and kind of experience like, oh, what's the view like and how tricky it is to get that cone.
All right, and again, the Accelerators also have the Regulators, the boys team out of Cass Lake Bena too. So working together here, how much have you guys collaborated here on your robots this year?
We haven't collaborated too much. We were kind of working on ours, but if they have questions, then we come and help them out. We're kind of doing our own right now, but it's always like a collaboration.
All right, too. As far as this season, what are you girls most looking forward to?
Just looking forward to being able to get on the field, drive the robot, and like gain experience and like get better at doing all those things, lining up and all that, doing different competitions and all that. So this year we kind of have like set points, so it's just like, I think the coolest thing is seeing what the other robots can do and how you can like better help them. It's just like getting on the field mainly, and then seeing how our robot's gonna work.
All right, well, we'll let you get on the field there. Best of luck to you, and look forward to seeing you guys again throughout the year.
Yeah, you too. See you later. Thanks.
Thank you.
This year, Schrupp Excavating is celebrating 40 years of digging it right. With this milestone year, Schrupp Excavating wants to thank all of their past, current, and future employees and customers. They appreciate all you've done to help Schrupp Excavating become one of the most trusted companies in the Lakes area. For any excavation project, Schrupp Excavating will have your project done right and on time, serving Pine River, Bacchus, Pequot Lakes, and all the surrounding communities. Schrupp Excavating LLC, online at schruppexcavating.com. The PRB Boosters are happy to sponsor coverage of the Tigers. Like them on Facebook for events and fundraisers. The PRB Boosters could use your help. Be part of great events and fundraisers, all built to give back and present more opportunities for the students of Pine River Backus schools. For information or to get started, email prboosterclub1.com. Meetings are the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the school. Good luck, Tigers, from the PRB Boosters.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
Out of Perm, it's Team 3297, the Full Metal Jackets here as Dakota with us. And Dakota, it's a scrimmage week here, exciting to be back in. Does this really kind of feel like robotics is back now here after that build season, getting ready to get to these competitions?
Definitely. It's just like you get the build season and you're like anticipating competition, and then you get to be at the week 0 scrimmages, and then it just like you immediately get the fire up of being at a competition, and then you just get thrown into it, and it's just really exciting because you get to introduce the new kids to it, and then all the older kids get to like kind of coach the newer kids through the entire process of being at a competition, and it's like a really good practice for being at a competition.
Let's talk a little bit about the build season the last 5 weeks or so since the game was announced. What was the process for your team to go through that design and the build and everything to get to today?
There was just like a lot of ups and downs. Like some things didn't work, some things did, and we really originally came up with a really great idea, and it's kind of what we've stuck with, and it's what we have now. And going through those entire design processes just kind of helped us figure out what we were going to do from start to finish, and we've worked our way through that all the way up until now, and Saturdays have really helped us, and we've had kids stay from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and last Thursday we stayed from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to about 10:30 at night.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the design. What can you tell us about this year's robot?
So for our robot, we have not a climb, that's last year's, but we have a elevator that goes up and it'll drop off the cones or the cubes. And then for our robot, we have this split in between the 2 bumpers in the front, and that'll help us get in between the 2 legs in the beginning of the whatever they're called at the beginning, where the scoring area is, and so that we can get to the top ledges and the poles.
All right, and have you had a chance to get on the field yet?
We've been on the field a lot of times, gotten a lot of great results, and we've had over 7 different drivers drive to see which ones can do the best, which groups pair up better together, and if we have somebody sick, we know who's the next one ready to go.
All right. Was there anything that surprised you or you learned about the game or the robot actually when you were on the field?
Definitely have had a lot of like, wow, our robot can actually do a lot of really amazing stuff, because like we've had our practices, we've got our own little field space at our practice areas at our school, but being at an actual area where it's like a full thing and you can compete with 2 other teams and you're probably against 3 others, you got lots of aspects of where you can see what your robot can actually do.
All right, well, looking forward to see what you guys can do throughout the year. Dakota, thanks so much for joining us, and best luck to you and your team.
Thank you.
It's Team 3293, the Otterbots with us, and we're visiting with Landon. And Landon, let's talk about week 0, what the goals are for today, and if you've achieved any of them so far.
This is our first time running some new systems on our robot. I feel like we've got a lot of time here to test them and kind of hone those down a little bit. It's really great to have the week 0 event to be able to practice, though.
Yeah, and getting a chance to test out what you've been working on. So let's look at the robot here a little bit and just tell us about the design.
Yep, so this year we started with a swerve drive. This is actually our first year ever doing that. That's where we started. You'll have to talk to him a little bit about how they programmed all that. But and just kind of, we liked having the rail system to keep everything nice and stable as we're moving around on the field.
All right, there we go. So let's bring over Eric here as we'll just swap spots a little bit. And well, Eric, you got volunteered to talk about programming, which is good because that's your thing. So tell us here what you did.
Yeah, so this year, Otterbots took on Java. We switched from LabVIEW to Java, and that was kind of like a big learning curve because we don't really know Java. So we also took on Swerve, which is a huge project in Java, and it's really tough, and thankfully it's working, finally. But yeah, it's been a huge learning curve, and we're grateful that it's all figured out.
Was it a lot of just learning the differences between the programs, or were there certain aspects of what you were trying to do that took a lot of learning?
Yeah, well, nothing's really like similar in the two. There's a lot different, and it's just mostly just learning like new stuff, new words, vocabulary. So yeah.
All right, and what was maybe the most challenging part to program?
Oh, for sure, Swerve. All this stuff has been fairly simple. Most of our time has been on the Swerve drive. So yeah.
All right, and well, look forward to seeing it perform here, Eric. Thank you.
All right,
thank you. So we'll bring over Lance now and just rotating everyone through as we get the new guy, Lance, with us. New to the team. What's the experience been like so far?
It's been wonderful. It's been a lot of fun learning and meeting all the guys on the team. It's been a lot of fun.
What was it that made you decide that you want to join the Otterbots?
Well, I want to be an engineer later in life, and I was just looking through and seeing things that I could do that would be fun and relate to that, and I found the robotics team, and it's been a lot of fun.
All right, what's been the most fun so far?
The design and the planning has been a lot of fun. I enjoy just sitting down with the problem and thinking about it and finding the different solutions, and yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, hey, just like with robotics, sometimes stuff happens, so you got to roll with it. So, what are you most looking forward to, or what have you heard then about what might happen this year that you're kind of like, hey, that sounds pretty cool?
Well, right now, the meets that we're going to go to are going to be fun. The regional in Grand Forks, I'm really looking forward to that and competing.
All right, your first time at a meet then, does it match up to what you were told? What's this experience like for you as a first time?
I am very impressed with the pits. All the equipment that all the teams brought, I thought it would be nothing like this when I first heard about the events that we'd be going to. It's pretty cool in here.
It definitely is. Encourage everyone to come check it out. Lance, as well as Landon and Eric, thanks so much for the time here. Best luck to you and the team here this year.
Yeah, thanks.
It's Team 4674 here. The RoboJacks with us as Aster to get ready, as I'm told, for the maiden voyage of this year's robot. We're excited here to get it out on the field, get everything going. What's it take to get everything set up, ready to go today?
Well, I mean, we just wired the robot last night, just finished. It's taken a lot of time, a lot of energy, but I guess we're here now.
Hey, that's right, you made it. So to get everything set up, what was the challenges that you've faced and had to overcome?
So I am mainly doing wiring this year. So when we were wiring the robot, when we were wiring the robot with the CAN bus, we were trying to move our resistor to the end. I'm sorry. We were trying to move our resistor to the end of the CAN bus instead of having to loop it all the way back around. And we used the wrong type of resistor. So we ended up having to... We didn't realize that for a good 3 hours.
All right, so when you did realize that, though, to switch it out and solve those problems, so how does this team attack problems? When you have a problem, do you go to, hey, this is your area, or is it a team method?
Well, I guess it's a bit of both. I mean, when there's a problem, everyone tends to come look at it, but we generally try to get mentors that know more about what they're doing with the I'm sorry.
Get them in their area there to help learn and experience that. And talking about the experiences with robotics, what have you really enjoyed being part of this team?
I guess that I can do everything. I can be a part of any part of the team, and I don't have to be restricted to one thing or another. Like, it's just a variety of everything. There's just opportunity.
What is your favorite part of it?
I'd say the wiring.
All right. Well, hey, thanks again for joining us here, Aster, and we'll bring in Elliot now here too to chat a little bit more, and we'll have you swap spots real quick so that we can get everyone there in the view. And let's talk about your role here with the RoboJacks. What is it that you like?
Yeah. So what I'm mainly doing is building it all and putting all the cut pieces together, whether it's through bolts or rivets or sometimes welding.
All right, of course, to put together, you got to design it here. So as the builder, are you involved with that too? It's kind of saying, hey, that might not work or anything like that?
Yeah, usually how we do it is we have everyone that's on the team go and help design what robot we're going to do. And then we all divide up what we all need to do to accomplish that overall goal.
All right, and how did you guys decide, or what led to this design this year?
Well, we saw the West Coast Products competitive concept a few weeks in because we were very, scattered with ideas for this game, with it not having climbing like last year, or not much defense to be played.
All right, so you're looking forward to getting on the field for the first time. So what is it that you're excited to see, or what do you want to see from the robot?
I just want to see it work after a few weeks of building and programming and wiring. We just need it to work.
All right, looking forward to it. Elliot, Aster, thanks so much for the time here. Good luck to the RoboJacks.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the Regulators out of Cass Lake Buena High School team, 3275. Thorne with us, and Thorne, looking here at the robot. Looking at today, let's talk about today first here for this scrimmage day. What have you really liked about the experience so far?
I would say today I like being able to come in. We came in just last night and I'll put everything all together, set up the field, and now today it's just figuring out what we still need to put on there. And I liked being able to show some of our younger kiddos that we slipped up and we missed just a couple of small stuff on the robot, and just being able to show them, hey, you know what, it's a bit of a pain, but we can do this. And it's getting them laughing about it and getting them excited about just going out there and practicing. All
right, so some of that small stuff that you guys got fixed then here. Tell us about it. What was it about the robot that you found out there that you've had to work on here today?
Well, today we hadn't even put our bumpers on quite yet, so we needed to attach the bumpers. Turned out we needed to re-screw different parts of it, and everything wasn't lined up quite the way it needed to be. We also needed to put one of the pieces to our intake over and actually attach it. So a lot of the stuff was just putting the things together that we already had and then kind of tweaking it a little bit, because not all the measurements were spot on. So it's just little stuff. Nothing's broken yet, but we'll figure it out eventually, I think.
All right, and figuring stuff out as you've been around today, looking at some of the other teams, their designs, their concept here. Have you kind of grabbed anything maybe we should try that?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of different designs. I liked some of the different intakes. So with ours, we have one button, that does a little bit of both reverse and inverse to pick up and release both different, a cube and like a cone, and it's just a little awkward and weird to try and figure out. And I think driving it's going to be a little bit difficult, but with some of the other ones, one of them you literally clasp whatever it is, pick it up, and you put it wherever you need to go. There's no extra additional steps, and I think that was kind of unique looking at some of the robots who were able to do that. And yeah, I've been looking at just different designs and talking to them about, what was their thought process on it, and it's been really cool talking to them, seeing what they came up with. So yeah, it's been really neat.
All right, well, after today, regional's coming up, so what's the first regional you're going to and the process to get ready for it now?
We're going to the lights shoot. What is it? Not the Duluth one, the something lights. I should know this. It's one of the bigger ones.
Can't think of it out right now either.
No, I can't.
No. Well, we know you're going there, though.
Yep, we're definitely going. And then we got, man, I'm spacing. It's early in the morning. I'm tired.
All right. Well, hey, good luck getting ready for those here. And Thorne, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it. And good luck with the robot this year.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a good time.
You too. It's the Techno Tigers team 3102 out of Nevis High School. And we got Natalie, Owen, Jesse, and Kale with us here to talk the Impact team. So, Natalie, first of all, what is the Impact team?
The Impact team is like a place where we explain what our team does and how we're not just a robot. Yeah.
All right, so let's explain it. What does your team do?
Well, we drive a robot, but we're not just a robot. So our Impact team is doing all kinds of things this year with reaching out to people and networking and showing teams and other people what robotics is about. So, yeah, that's our thing.
All right, and for you, what has been the most enjoyable part about robotics?
The people. I love the environment of robotics and what people do.
All right, Natalie, thank you. We'll just kind of slide down here if that works a little bit, as we'll have Owen come over. Owen's been waiting patiently, just loving his chance to get the interview here. And you're head scout as well as a member of the Impact team too. So let's talk about scouting, the duties here and how you do it.
Pretty straightforward. Scout, hand out the sheets, gather information, and have a good time.
All right, we like having a good time. And as far as information, what are some of the things that you look for out there?
Like where they're putting the cube or the cone, if they attempt, if they fail, if they make it, what their shooting percentage is, what kind of drive.
All right. Do you also kind of scout yourselves as well too, just so you know what teams you match up well with?
Yep.
All right, so is that a little bit more harder critique on yourselves?
Not really, I don't think. Yeah, pretty normal.
All right. For you as well, too, what is it about robotics that you really enjoy that you want to tell people about?
The opportunities you get with it, like scholarships, more traveling, and forming new relationships.
All right, very good. Owen, thanks again here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go. As Jesse slides on down here for the Techno Tigers, 3102 out of Nevis. And Jesse, here for your role in the Impact team, what is it about being on the team within the team here that you enjoy?
I really enjoy writing the speeches and being able to create my own experience and be able to learn through my mistakes and overcome my challenges.
All right, and talking about writing out, talking to people, when you do talk to people, what are some of the things that people maybe just don't understand about robotics?
Some things that people don't understand is like the gender bias, where they think STEM is like a male only. I mean, it's male dominated, but there's definitely a place for every female. If you want to join, if you're interested, just go for it. It's straight shot.
What are some ways that yourself, along with the Impact team for the Techno Tigers, is going about to change some of those biases or misconceptions?
we have started to create every opportunity for anybody, every student. Doesn't matter if you're underprivileged or you're just in the wrong spot, we will be able to take you in, and doesn't matter gender, sexuality, race, we will always give everybody the exact same opportunities in creating growth and change.
All right, and what opportunities are you looking forward to this year?
Oof. Opportunities am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to be able to travel and grow by meeting new people in Arkansas, where we're heading down on the 28th. It's definitely the biggest head hitter for me.
All right, it'll certainly be fun. Thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go. As we bring in Kale now to the fourth member of the Impact team here today for the Techno Tigers. And Kale, what is the role that you take on part of this Impact team?
So I basically help write the speech, and I work on our website.
All right. As far as the website, I'm guessing a lot of updated information that you're looking to share. So first of all, let's share, what is that website?
Our website is tnt3102.com.
All right. And what kind of information can they find out?
They can learn about our sponsors, where we're located, our outreach events, and what we do for our community.
Community and outreach. What are some of the things that this team has done?
So we provide Lego Big Brainstem, which is Lego robotics for 4th graders, and we provide Vex robotics for 8th grade, kind of feeder programs just to give them a little bit of a taste about what robotics really is.
Do you get to go down, work with them as well too, get your hands on there with those younger members as well?
Yep, I do go down there and help them out. They look up to us.
All right, that's got to be a fun time too. For yourself, favorite memories about robotics, experiences, or just what you're looking forward to this year?
Well, my parents are both mentors for our team, and our team started in 2009 when I was 3. And my first memory of robotics was when I was about 5, and we went to the Duluth Regional, where we saw the 2012 game Rebound Rumble, where we had to have the robots shoot basketballs, and that's one of my best memories of the team.
All right, starting early here, and well, congratulations to you and your team here today. I look forward to seeing you guys throughout the year as well.
Thank you very much.
There we go, Team 3102, the Techno Tigers out of Nevis. Well, thank you again for joining us today on YourLiveEvent.com, the week 0 from the Bemidji High School for the Northern Minnesota Robotics Conference. Hope you've enjoyed our discussions with all the teams, seeing the matches and everything else going on here today. Look forward to bringing more coverage coming up here with the events going on, and of course our weekly interviews presented to you by Enbridge Energy here with YourLiveEvent.com.